As Vice-Chancellor, I am delighted to welcome you to the University. I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. Will you please be seated? My Lord Mayor, civic guests, parents, friends and graduands, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We celebrate your many achievements that culminate in the award of a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 23,000 students, 3,800 staff, and a turnover of £260 million, a sum that has doubled over the last 10 years. We are, therefore, a big business with higher education at its heart. This academic year, the university is placed 17th in The Guardian and also in the Times League tables. And we're also 14th in the Times Higher Education magazine. Now, I've studied these results very carefully, and I can certainly advise you that the Times Higher Education magazine is the most reliable guide to higher education in the UK. We are also very proud of our achievements. Demand for undergraduate places is up by 16%. We have increased our annual research income to 56 million, and we have continued to win many awards, including the Sconnell Library Design Award and an accolade for customer service excellence in the library. In terms of our estate, we have completed a £17 million refurbishment and transformation of the Percy G Students' Union building that has already won several awards. We have completed a new £16 million medical sciences research building this year, and we are about to complete 281 ensuite study bedrooms at Nixon Court in September. In addition, we shall shortly be starting to build a new £5 million sports hall and swimming pool at Oadby, which you will be pleased to know is available for alumni to use. And we are also awaiting planning approvals to build a new £33 million medical building and a university conference centre on the College Hall site. Currently, we are reviewing our £1 billion development framework plan for the next 20 years. We are also creating plans for new research, new teaching programmes and new community links. These include a competition for up to 10 research professors who will set up 10 world-class research centres. We have developed a range of new master's courses, including banking and actuarial science, urban conservation, and media and public relations. We have strengthened our links with a number of primary and secondary schools, as well as a school for children with special needs. This demonstrates we are a dynamic 21st century university that provides high-quality research and teaching alongside meeting widening participation benchmarks and providing an excellent student experience. All these features lead to a positive institutional ethos. But among all this success, I know that a major concern for many graduates and their parents is the impact of the economy on graduate employment. At this stage in your careers, I would urge you to hold your nerve. The degrees you have obtained are world-renowned and will contribute to your future achievements, but you will need to be flexible. This is the key to success in the current economic climate, and I would urge you to seek out every opportunity to develop your CV and continue to build on all your additional achievements recorded in your Higher Education Achievement Report issued for the first time this year. You may also wish to consider postgraduate study, for which there are prospectuses in the foyer. And just to make sure that there's no doubt, we're happy to sign up parents and friends for a degree course, as well as our recent graduates. We are committed to the development of your employability. The Graduate Success Programme provides a range of tailored career development services specially designed for you. Our graduate internship vacancies are advertised on the Careers Service website, or look at the advert in the Guide to Graduation for more details. Another option is volunteering, an activity in which 1,600 Leicester students have been involved this year, with volunteers working on literacy programmes in schools, recycling and conservation projects, and work in local hospitals. We are very proud of your splendid record. It is a real contribution to Leicester and Leicestershire. UK universities are world-renowned, but are undergoing major change as a consequence of introducing fees in 2012. Higher education will still be free at the point of entry, and no student will be required to pay for their education until after graduation, when they are earning in excess of £21,000 a year and will have 30 years to repay their loan. This means that the average student will pay around £7 per week. In my view, an excellent investment for high-quality higher education. Universities offer new courses, new academic and cultural experiences, an opportunity to meet new friends, and a range of experiences and skill development that lasts a lifetime. But higher education needs your support, and I hope on the basis of your experience, you will wish to persuade the coalition government that higher education needs continued investment. At the University of Leicester, we start from a good position, with strong student demand, growing research activity, and sound finances. We see the benefits of progress made in the last few years. We are determined to rise to the challenge and take new opportunities, review our activities, work in new ways where we need to, as I want you, the graduates, parents, friends and supporters of the university, to continue to be proud of us. This will be our aim. All universities make major contributions to a range of areas, to the communities in which they are located, to economic development, to sport, culture and the arts. This year, the university is celebrating the 10th anniversary of its annual sculpture show in our Botanic Gardens. It includes 78 major sculptures from 64 sculptors, many of whom are nationally and internationally acclaimed. I would strongly encourage you to visit the show, which is free and open until the end of October. Finally, I would like to congratulate you on the degrees you have obtained and look forward to seeing you at alumni events in future years. But before I close, I would like to tell you about what has become known as the Vice-Chancellor's competition, namely, which college or colleges can applaud loudest and longest at the degree ceremonies. Now, you're in first this afternoon, so you really can set the standard very high. So I would now like you to join me in showing your appreciation for your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2011 to join with me in a round of applause for all those people. That gets us off to a terrific start. Have a really enjoyable day, and on behalf of the whole university, I wish you every success in your future lives and careers.
Carole Blackburn is a daughter of Leicester, the city which she has served throughout her life. Her early years were spent in Thurnby Lodge. She attended Spencefield Lane School. She subsequently entered the hosiery trade, which was then the principal industry in Leicester, and later trained as a psychiatric nurse at the Towers Hospital. On marriage to her husband Bernard, who's with us today, she left nursing and subsequently established her own business within the hosiery trade, a business that has now lasted for 23 years. Thus far, she had lived a life typical of many Leicester citizens of her generation. The moment that marked the beginning of the life that was to make her one of our outstanding citizens was her decision to apply to become a registered police volunteer. That moment inaugurated an important strand of her public service. Carole subsequently replied to an advertisement in the Leicester Mercury asking for volunteers to work with the NHS in Leicester. She soon found herself on the Medicine Management Group, which is responsible for issues such as cost effectiveness, quality of provision, equity, and patient safety. Many years later, she still works for Medicines Management, but she also works for at least 15 other organizations in health, policing, welfare, and education. In health, for example, Carole works for the NHS Get Involved team, which helps health professionals to hear the views of patients. In policing, she has since 2005 been chair of the Welford Road Police and Community Support Groups. One of the police-related projects in which she has played an important role is Cold Calling Zone, which supports elderly and vulnerable people who might fall victim to distraction crimes that begin with an unexpected knock at the door. The project provides information packs to potential victims and window stickers explaining that the resident will not buy at the door. These are simple and effective addresses to the problem, but they require hard work to implement, and Carole has never shied away from hard work, including enlisting others to assist with the effectiveness of the project. In the case of the Cold Calling Zone initiative, she has encouraged local magistrates to become involved, so securing assistance and enhancing the street knowledge of magistrates. A related initiative, called the Nominate a Neighbour scheme, filled the void when the cold calling scheme could not be implemented. Another aspect of her work in support of the local police involves the safety of those who attend schools and churches. In this case, householders overlooking schools, School Watch, and householders overlooking churches, Church Watch, are asked to report any vandalism, drug dealing, graffiti spraying, or suspicious behavior to the police. And in the school project, children are encouraged to participate by taking responsibility for their own schools, by reporting anything amiss. Carole's work for the elderly extends beyond Cold Calling Zone to her work for Age Concern, which is at present focused on the very practical issue of toenail cutting. NHS podiatry services can only be accessed by people with a foot problem, but Carole realized there was a need beyond the purely medical for the elderly to have their toenails cut. Podiatrists can play a useful diagnostic role for problems other than nails, and this campaign is helping to keep elderly people mobile. Carole's ability to persuade powerful people to support her activities, as in this case, enlisted the support of Sir Peter Soulsby, who was MP for Leicester South when Carole recruited him and is now our elected city mayor. In the field of education, Carole Blackburn is best known for her work on truancy. With characteristic ingenuity and enterprise, she organised the 100% Best Attendance Award, which was a competition in 11 primary schools in deprived areas within the beat area of the Welford Road police station. Thousands of children have been taken to the cinema in tranches of 600 to 800 children as a reward for good attendance. And there they have met Alan Birchinall and Filbert Fox from Leicester City Football Club. This year, other children will be taken on the Great Central Railway. In some of the poorer areas of the city, such as Saffron Lane and Ayers Monsell, truancy rates have fallen as a result of this initiative. At the other end of the educational spectrum, Carole has worked for more than 10 years to promote good relations between the city and this university. Students may be angelic at graduation ceremonies, and our local citizens are for the most part supportive of the university, but there are nonetheless community relations issues, and Carole has given freely of her time to ease relations between town and gown, attending meetings, liaising with councillors, council officials, officers of this university and of the Students' Union. Her work on this sphere has been focused on two projects. One involves our criminology students who are able to gain practical experience of community work, and the other involved her collaboration with our beat officer and our local councillor to establish the Knighton and Clarendon Park Residents Group. It would be hard to conceive of a better example of active citizenship. We are certainly not the first to have noted her contribution. Carole Blackburn has been given commendations and awards by Leicester City Council, notably the Award of Honoured Citizenship of the City presented by the Lord Mayor. She's also been honoured by the Medicine Managers Group and the Rutland Criminal Justice Board. The Home Office gave her the Community Crime Firefighter Exceptional Person Award, and the Chief Constable presented her with an award for her contribution to Neighbourhood Watch. The Chief Superintendent presented her with an award for police volunteer work. Carole has twice been invited to Downing Street to have her work acknowledged by the Prime Minister. It is now the turn of this university to acknowledge her work, both for us and for the community in which we are situated. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate and of the Council, I present to you Carole Blackburn that you may confer upon her the degree of Master of Laws.
You to the degree of Master of Laws and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen and fellow graduates. First of all, may I congratulate the graduates here today on their achievement. Your families have good reason to be proud of you. This is an extremely proud day for me and my family. I am a local Leicester person and have always valued citizenship. I firmly believe in volunteering, and through various activities, I have tried to help local people, from young children through to the elderly. For me, the concept of big society has been part of my life for many years. I have been working closely with the university for the past 12 years, and together we have achieved a great deal in that time. For the most part, permanent local residents in Leicester have an excellent relationship with the transitory student population. This did not just happen, it had to be worked at. Residents have good cause to be grateful that the university values its relationships with the local community. The university has demonstrated this through investment in an officer whose remit is to work in partnership with the local community, the police and the City Council. He has been successful in speedily addressing noise and antisocial behaviour issues and encouraging a sense of belonging and responsibility amongst students. Many students will go on to become Leicester residents. Many staff here today live in Leicester, You may all therefore benefit at some point from interventions to address issues which inevitably occur when those studies who contribute to the nighttime economy live in such close proximity with those who have to get up at 7 a.m. for work or school. Students will know what I mean. I know that Contact, the Student Association, now have over 1,000 volunteers working on over 100 projects each year. The work that these students carry out is commendable and ranges from right to read in primary schools through work with the elderly to volunteering at the Saffron Meadows on environmental schemes. Criminology students have helped with some of my own projects, which include involvement in the best attendance at school projects and visiting the elderly to address the problem of cold calling. I am delighted to accept this honorary degree. There can be no clearer indication that the University of Leicester appreciates the voluntary activities undertaken by ordinary local people and want to work with us to provide a safe, pleasant, supportive community for its students, a community which stretches far beyond the confines of the university campus. Thank you all.
Will all graduands please stand?
By the authority of the Senate, I admit candidates both present and absent to the several degrees for which they are presented.
Mr. Senior Pro-Vice-Chancellor, as Head of the College of Arts, Humanities and Law, I present the following candidates for their degrees. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Amanda Debelin. Joanna Dixon. Stephen Sherlock. Martin Sterry. Andrew Tullett. For the degree of Master of Arts in Archaeology and Heritage, Erin Eichenberg. For the degree of Master of Arts in English Local History, Susan Kilby. Hazel Pearson. Paul Shipman. For the degree of Master of Arts in English Local History by Individually Supervised Study, Michael Heaton. Joanna Parry. Susan Phipps. Derek Weilman. For the degree of Master of Arts in Historical Archaeology, Lara Band. Julia Boulton. Charles Consolvo. Glenn Ritchie. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in American Studies, Amethyst Disdale. Matteo Orsi. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in American Studies with a year in the USA, Christopher Aikman. Elizabeth Cornish. Catherine Farmer, Dominic Frey, Holly Holton, Jessica Nichols, Claire Smith, Marianne Torres-Ames. Winner of the American Studies Prize and the American Studies Second Year Prize, Hannah Vince. Daniel Wilson, Amy Woollerton. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Ancient History and Archaeology, Susie Barnes. Nathan Chape, Timothy Faultley, Jennifer Harris, Paul Hasler, Emma Heldon, Gareth Hughes, Hayley Curbitson, James Martin, Josephine McGoldrick, Luke Pearce, Chandni Purohit, Abigail Rose, Abigail Rutherford, Richard Speechley, Ricky Tagg, Jonathan Tamang, Gemma Tidswell. For the degree of Arts in Ancient History and Archaeology, European Union, Amy Sinclair. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Ancient History and Archaeology, International, Jessica Southwell. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Ancient History and History, Frederick Bailey. Christopher Beresford, Daniel Bottiglieri, Jessica Bauer, James Boyack, Joe Boyd, Alexander Bradshaw, Anna Cohen, James Crockett, Michael Grace. Winner of the Arnold Wickham Gom Prize, the F&M Kesner Prize, and the Dorothy Buchan Ancient History Dissertation Prize, Kimberly Harmon. Jonathan Heitzman, Theo Holder, Palminda Johal, Benjamin O'Sullivan, Jordan Page, Luke Perry, Richard Phillips, Jonathan Pickering, Jamoki Richards, Richard Salisbury, Nicola Walsh, Thomas Wood, Vincent Wright. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Ancient History and History, European Union, Emily Hare. Ellen Holmes, Wendy Law, Catherine Puttick. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Ancient History and History International, Ruth Richards. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Archaeology, Hafsal Ghazi. Joanne Clawley. Winner of the College of Arts, Humanities and Law Prize, Paul Dickinson. Rebecca Neal, Claire Lacombe, Heather Lakey, Louise Proctor. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Archaeology, European Union, winner of the Arthur Humphreys Memorial Prize, the Samuel and Rachel May Prize in Archaeology, and the Archaeology Dissertation Prize, Chloe Chandler. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Archaeology, International, Fiona Barnes. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Archaeology, winner of the Garner Prize, Lauren Bellis. Sarah Deacon. Alberto Martinez. Victoria Rogers. Thomas Wardman. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Contemporary History, William Barnard. Sean Billingsley. Michelle Chung. Michaela Colborne. Laura Cook. Francis Crouch. Alexander Diamond. Ashley Dooker. Kristen George. Andrew Mackay. Benjamin Miller. Christian Moffat. Philip Morehouse. Matthew State. James Topping. John Watson. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History, Charlotte Aldred. Cassandra Allen. Hannah Anderson. Alice Atkinson. Aisha Bailey. Andrew Bailey. Alexander Baker. Jenny Bamber. Kevin Barber. David Barry. Jack Bartram. Alexandra Bass. Michael Batchelor. Richard Beeching. Tom Bembo. Victoria Biggin. George Birrell. Charlotte Blackman. Lauren Bothan. Jessica Boyden. James Boyle. Robert Capon. Thomas Carlton Ashton. Rachel Carr. James Clark. James Collier. Stephen Conroy. Lisa Constance. Laurie Cook. Rebecca Cranham. Adam Creswell. Thomas Curry. Alison Davis. Andrew Donaldston. Gavin Eade. Brendan Empson. Giles Empson. Richard Ferrell. John Fuchs. Michael Fox, Samantha Guzman, Emma Green, Kimberly Griffiths, Carl Gunwald, Caroline Hale. Winner of the Professor W.H. Brock Prize, the J.H.A. Plum Prize, the Professor J. Simmons Prize, the Arthur Poole Memorial Prize, the H.J. Dias Prize, the Ralph Davis Prize, and the College of Arts, Humanities and Law Prize, Christopher Hallett Wilcox. Richard Hayes, Rosie Hayward, Elizabeth Heatley, winner of the Dr. D.T. Williams Memorial Prize, James Hicks, Kirsty Home, Sumanjit Hoti, Bethany Howarth, Ben Hudson, Ian Iliopoulos, Kelly Johnson, Christopher Jones, Lowry Jones, Matthew Jones, Timothy Jones, Sarah Keane, Helen Keogh, Alexander Lee, Simon Lewis, Peter Marsh, Simon May, Kelly McHugh, Paula McAnally, Elizabeth McKenna, Stephen McLeish, Liam Meller, Kaylee Mercer, Tom Molyneux, Francis Mooney, James Moran, Edward Morden, Joseph Muir, winner of the West End Memorial Prize and the F&M Kesner Prize, Alexa Neal. Thomas Neal, Hannah Nicholson, Robert Olver, Christopher Oswald, Matthew Pacey, David Padmore, Jefferson Palmer, Thomas Plastow, Samantha Race, Jonathan Reed, Harriet Reed, Gregory Rendell, Sam Riley, Sophie Louise Robinson, Hardev Sangira, Craig Saunders, Sam Scott, Rachel Sheldon, Charles Sherrod, winner of the Derek Paul Downey Memorial Prize, Oliver Snedker. Leanne Souter, Craig Squires, Anthony Staples, Brendan Stew, Amy Sumberg, Mustafa Tahir, Mithun Thakur, Gemma Thompson, Cleo Toogood, Adam Tosek, Catherine Tyas, John Vinicum, Matthew Vins, Christopher Wagner, winner of the F&M Kesner Prize, Matthew Whale, Joseph Walker, Stuart Ward, Benjamin Ward-Prowse, Ben Watkins, Michael Wean, Samuel Witcher, Laura Whiteley, Matthew Whitaker, Catherine Wilcox, Emma Williams, Adam Wright. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History, European Union, Matthew Spencer. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Archaeology, Francesca Christie. Liam McMahon. Stephen Shepherd. Ellen Watts. Winner of the Medieval Research Centre Prize in memory of A.G. and A.L. Possells, Thomas Wex. Leroy Whittle. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Politics, Matthew Bentley. Oliver Best. Hannah Blythe. Jocelyn Cavera, Christopher Cleland, Tara Dobbin, Mohammed Hussain, James Kember, Harriet Leach, Mercy MacDonald, Melissa Phillips, Rebecca Rushton, Rebecca Sohatsky, Charlotte Tolley, Andrew Walker, Gareth Welsh, Miriam Wheeler, Hobie Williams, Helen Yates, Matthew Young. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in History and Politics, European Union, Kuba Kazarovsky.
Michael Wood is known to millions for his engaging and innovative television presence. His distinctive approach draws viewers seductively into his subject, informing, entertaining and enthusing, but never patronising. He leaves us anxious to learn more with his exceptional blend of entertainment and education. From very early in his life, Michael was fascinated by history. His family had a vivid oral history tradition, and in early life his ears rang with stories of Uncle Sid, who ran away to sea, and great Uncle Eddie's experiences on the Somme. A Mancunian by birth, and he says, a Mancunian by character, Michael grew up in parts of the city that have a fearsome reputation today, but which even then were not a hotbed of academic excellence. He was the first in many years to move on from his primary school to Manchester Grammar. Once in the grammar school environment, however, he bloomed. His interest in history grew, and he also discovered a burgeoning fascination with and talent for drama. These twin themes were to set the pattern for the rest of his life. At the tender age of 11, he saw an item on BBC Look North, which presented the story of a battle in the Wars of the Roses in a new way. With characteristic forwardness, he wrote immediately to the producer, asking for a copy of the script, which he carried reverently around with him, studying its nuances in every spare moment. Already, he was forming a vision of how broadcasting was to change as it matured over decades to come, and thinking how he might be part of that. His fascination with the Anglo-Saxon period began at school, stopping off at the Manchester Library to read the Anglo-Saxon Chronicles on his way to another of his loves, football. By the sixth form, he'd begun work on his big book about the Anglo-Saxons. He's determined to complete it sometime soon, though of course there's been no shortage of other publications in the meantime. His obvious talents gained him a scholarship to Oriel College, Oxford, reading history. Despite his fascination with the subject, he found the traditional academic approach less than exciting, so he spiced his degree with a good dose of English literature. Drama played a huge part in his student life. He had been inspired by trips to Stratford while still at school, and his obsession with Shakespeare has not abated. As a student, he toured the USA with a production of Midsummer Night's Dream, and he continues his association with Stratford to this day. Michael flirted with the idea of a pure academic career, but that wasn't for him, and he joined the BBC as a television journalist, where he learned his presenting skills through the hard graft of regional reporting. He moved to Leeds, and then came the golden opportunity to make a programme about the Anglo-Saxons. This received immediate and clamorous acclaim from audiences and critics, and provided the springboard to a lifetime of programmes that are so familiar to us all, numbering well over 80 and still counting. Great railway journeys drew us all into mysterious and varied landscapes, and left us dreaming of running away from our desks to explore the world. The successor, Great River Journeys, was awarded a BAFTA. We've also been able to explore the past through journalistic eyes in a range of historical series. The recurring theme is Anglo-Saxon England, but we've also learnt, amongst others, about the Trojan War, Alexander the Great, conquistadors, India, and returning to Michael's other love, Shakespeare. Throughout, Michael's screen presence and his handsome looks and trademark casual dress has sustained a host of fans attracted by more than just the history. Michael's work is particularly popular in the USA, with frequent exposure on public broadcasting and other networks, and his series Legacy is one of his most frequently broadcast documentaries on US TV. In many cases, his series have spawned books, clearly written and beautifully illustrated, keeping the ideas alive for long after transmission, and ensuring Michael's reputation as an author as well as a broadcaster. In the way of broadcasting, Michael became part of a production company named Maya, after the goddess of illusions, which has allowed him to follow his interests in a wide variety of directions. He developed an interest in Iraq, making a film on Saddam's killing fields. He has inevitably travelled widely and is well known in many countries, though recently he was to be found in the local village of Kibworth, just 10 miles from here, telling the story of England through the history of a single small community. He fascinated us all as he drew today's local population skillfully into the mysteries of their community's past with the help of academics from this university. He made those of us who live in and around Kibworth realise that history is all about us, and all we have to do is look. Over a lifetime of broadcasting, Michael Wood has made a massive contribution, but there's clearly more to come. He's not lost his obsession with the Anglo-Saxons, and the story of King Athelstan is still fully to be told. We look forward to many further delights. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of Senate and Council, I present to you Michael David Wood, that you may confer upon him the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice-Chancellor, Lord Mayor, members of the university, parents and friends. Thank you very much for this great honour. It's a real honour and a real pleasure to receive this from this university. All the more so because I've actually had a long and creative working relationship with Leicestershire for very many years now. I actually filmed up here in Leicestershire on my very first day of filming for the first film I ever made for the BBC, which scarily was about 30 years ago. And looking after the Mercians. And strangely enough, we ended up at the Coach and Horses in Kibworth. And I can remember sitting there watching the lorries stream past on the A6 and turning to the director and saying, I could never make a film here. How wrong can you be? Later, I have the most vivid memory of a wonderful film that we made with the Caribbean community here in Leicester, the Barbudans, the community from Antigua and Barbuda, with the Beezers and the Porters and the Teagues in the Barbudan Centre in Leicester. Absolutely magical film, which I'm hoping to do some more on soon. And only very recently, when we made the story of India, the Sikh community here in Leicester helped us out at the Golden Temple at Amritsar. So, and I think those three stories give you a sense of the wonderful rich cultural and social variety in Leicestershire, and in particular the city of Leicester. That's why we're kind of drawn to it, and especially we historians are drawn to it. So not surprisingly, it was to Leicester that we turned when we were thinking about this idea that I've been nursing for a very long time, which was to tell the story of England through one village, which we did in Kibworth. Big change, some of my friends remarked, from the tropics and the Khyber Pass and all that stuff to the A6. But it turned out to be just as wonderful an experience. Just as wonderful an experience. I can remember doing the story of India, sitting at a little chai stall at dawn in a little town on the banks of the Ganges as cows sauntered past, and saying to the cameraman, you couldn't beat this. And sure enough, I think at Mary's Delicatessen one dawn in Kibworth, we said the same thing. We spent about a year up there, more than a year up there actually, and coming up on the train, I felt, well, almost withdrawal symptoms for the journey up to Leicester, to be quite honest, and withdrawal symptoms too for the people of Leicestershire who helped us do this series in Kibworth. The villagers in Kibworth, the old land girls like Betty Ward and Rose Holyoke, the school caretaker, Wayne, who when Turry King in the genetics department here in the university did his DNA, they discovered he might have Viking DNA. From then on, Wayne walked around the village going, I'm Wayne the Dane. And of course, the Daily Mail didn't pass up on that one, and they had him in a horned helmet on a double-page spread in no time at all. But not just the people, but the institutions here, the Record Office, the museums, the wonderful Guildhall here, which I hope all you graduates have visited and will visit before you leave. And of course the university, several of whose departments helped us in the making of these films: local history, naturally, archaeology and genetics. And the relationship hasn't stopped. Rebecca, who produced and directed these films, and I were back up in Kibworth a couple of weeks ago doing a presentation to the village talking about the project. They'd just received a Heritage and Lottery Fund grant, £60,000, to continue the interest in history in the locality. And only last week we were filming with the archaeologists of the university out at that wonderful dig at Borough Hill with university archaeologists and volunteers and a great crowd of about 20 students from Riverside and Lancaster Boys and Countess Thorpe, of all different origins, but all of them having a whale of the time on that dig. And what a great way it is to teach youngsters history as well. But I have to say, before I conclude, that my debt to the university actually goes very much further back than even all this. It goes back to the time that I too was at school and the time I too was a student. And it started with watching somebody on TV, funnily enough. In the late 60s and early 70s, there were a great series of TV shows by the late, great Bill Hoskins. Now, Bill Hoskins was the first professor here in the pioneering department of local history, not just pioneering in Britain, but pioneering in the world. Leicester University led the way in that. Bill Hoskins had been led here to Leicester by Frank Attenborough, who ran the college here in the 30s, David Attenborough's dad. In fact, Frank took all the photos for Bill's books. But Bill did these wonderful shows on TV, One Man's Landscape, The Making of the English Landscape, one of the greatest books on British history. Inspirational, foundational texts for ways of seeing our history, not from the top down, from the rulers down, but from the bottom up, the people's story of history, where the landscape is a living, changing organism. The patterns of settlement, ordinary people's lives teased out of house inventories and wills and court rolls. Hoskins was a great inspirer and, of course, left a great legacy here in with his successors. Charles Fithian Adams, to whom I went when I first was thinking about the Kibworth project. Chris Dyer, who actually helped us in that project and is helping us in our next one. These have influenced the writing of history in Britain and much further afield. So there is a sense in which the university here has been an inspiration behind a lot of my 100 or so films, and not just in the UK either. So I hope you can see why I'm particularly delighted to receive this honour from this university. Finally, as the Vice-Chancellor said, this is a time when the humanities are under threat. Indeed, higher education for ordinary working people in Britain is under threat. These are difficult times, and as the Vice-Chancellor said, it is time to keep our nerve. All I want to say is three things. First of all, never doubt that a university education is worthwhile. It'll sound corny to quote the great Bob Marley, but it's about emancipating our minds from mental slavery. They're great words, we should never forget it. He put it much better than I ever could. Secondly, don't forget that in whatever way we do, and in whatever way we work, in however small a way, we're not only working for ourselves, but we're working for the public good. That's an important thing, it seems to me, to hang on to in these times. Finally, don't forget that it's your passions that have brought you here to this great convocation today. It's your passions that have taken you this far. And even if your life and your work leads you somewhere else, maybe somewhere unexpected, don't forget your passions, because those will feed you all the way through your life. So the very best of luck to my fellow graduates today in wherever your adventures will lead you in life. Coming from this university, with its devoted and skilled teachers, you've got a great start.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, as head of the College of Medicine, Biological Sciences and Psychology, I present the following candidates for their degrees. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Carole Proctor. Heather Welfare.
Many congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Science in Occupational Psychology, Jeanette Cox. Anna Smith. Tara Wilson. Diane Zareb. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychological Research Methods, Rita Chumba. Oliver Linden. Sharon Yu. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychology of Work, Manon Picard. Winner of the Rob Stammers Prize, Jonathan Samet. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Irene Awazika. Philip Beards. Winner of the Peace Cotton Prize, Sarah Bell. Eliza Buta. Natalie Branley. Charlotte Brennan. Winner of the College of Medicine, Biological Sciences and Psychology Prize, Louise Brittenden. Chris Bumstead. Naomi Cable. Marius Caldararu. Coral Carter Marsh. Mitha Chaudhuri. Turida Chaudhuri. Vanisha Chudasama. Rian Chui. Sarah Dowsett. Victoria Flynn. Lindsay Furs. Adam Gill. Hardish Gill. Hannah Gilmore. Terry Havill. Jabin Hawa. Harpreet Jabanda. Kennedy Kayame. Jade Leatherbarrow. Mei King Liu. Michael Long. Claire Loughran. Chirag Luca. Helen Mayadet. Samin Malik. Christy Merry. Robert Merry. Georgia Miles. Alexander Morrissey. Laura Murphy. Helen Newton. James Nichol. Winner of the Frank May Cup for volunteering, Victoria Nunn.
Congratulations, you're very well done. That's so magnificent. So congratulations.
Lucy Nuttall. Stefan O'Neill. Lisa Palco. Nicola O'Shea. Mojisola Oshisania. Dolly Pedalia. Emma Page. Aisha Patel. Bajal Patel. Hannah Patterson. Stephanie Raven Agard. Rebecca Reed. Georgina Reynolds. Robert Richardson. Rosemary Russell. Jevkenija Sotkina. Faiza Sidat. Gemma Shipley. Alexandra Shortland. Jennifer Sims. Michelle Smith. Natasha South. Graham Staunton. Winner of the Slukin Prize and the British Psychological Society Undergraduate Award, Emma Skudlapska. Razia Tai. Amy Tang. Amy Temple. Hayley Thatcher. Karen Trike. Amandeep Virk. Lee Walker. David Walters. Mengying Wang. Callum Watson. Martin Webb. Alex Webster. Kelly Wilcock. Anna Williams. Sunday Williamson. Katie Wright. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology with Biology, Holly Drinkwater. Ben Grindley. Hanifa Hafaji. Saima Kadami. Isabel Lensfeld. Sumaya Musa. Jenny Kate Parrish. Gemma Rogers. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology with Neuroscience, Joseph Barnby. Hannah Beecham. Aaron Boland. Nicola Burchell. Rohit Dillon. Nicola Griffiths. Winner of the Novartis Best Student in Second Year Module BS 2014 Prize, Nicholas McGill. Polly Noyce. Aishwarya Sambath. Fred Schwaller. Namrata Shukla. Vanessa Swally. Yemi Tijani. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology with Sociology, Hajra Aziz. Mariam Batkar. Lauren Berry. Sonia Bowen. Jessica Bowes. Christina Caulfield. Kimberly Evans. Casey Hill. Leanne Jones. Asel Kashkenbayeva. Zainab Kassam. Rachel Mizra. Patrick Maloney. James Pabler. Joanna Rakes. Laura Richardson. Gemma Riley. Max Ryan. Laurel Salter. Dipti Shah. Gemma Slough. Lalita Suglani. Laura Williams. Sufei Yong.
The nominee for the award of a Teaching Partnership Award will be presented by the Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Christine Fife.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you this student who has been nominated for the award of a Teaching Partnership Award in recognition of her valuable contribution to the enhancement of the student experience, both as a course representative in the School of Psychology and a project coordinator in the review of the personal tutor system, Gemma Riley, BSc Psychology with Sociology.
Congratulations. It's the first time we've awarded this, so it's really great. So thank you very much indeed for all that you've done. It's very, very good. Thank you.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, Leicester graduates, your families and friends. As Senior Pro-Vice-Chancellor, it's both an honour and a pleasure for me to be able to add my congratulations to those of the Vice-Chancellor and our honorary graduates to the graduating class of 2011. Today our ceremony has been enriched by the presence of Carole Blackburn and Michael Wood. As is evident from the oration given by Professor Campbell, Carole is a person who has achieved a great deal for the people of Leicester, having worked tirelessly over very many years to improve the quality of life of people in her native city. I'm also delighted that Michael Wood has been able to join us today. It's particularly appropriate that you're at the ceremony to award degrees to students in archaeology and ancient history, subject in which, as Professor Peterson has related, you have made a most distinguished contribution. A highlight of each degree ceremony is the award of honours to people of distinction who have excelled in their chosen walks of life. Carole and Michael, we are delighted that you've agreed to join our roll of honour, and we thank you for your gracious speeches and for joining us here today. Thank you. For you, the graduating class of 2011, this emphatically is your day. The annual degree ceremonies which we hold are very special occasions. They're opportunities for you to celebrate your graduation, not only with your families and friends, but also with the staff of the university, who take considerable pride in your achievements. You've worked hard to achieve your success, and you should be proud of what you have accomplished. We very much hope that you'll keep in touch with us over the years to come. You are representatives of two of the colleges of the university. Some of you are postgraduates, and others are receiving your first bachelor's degrees. For those of you who are receiving postgraduate degrees, you are part of a very large postgraduate community. Currently, the university has over 22,000 students, and of this number, just over half, are postgraduates. This is one of the distinctive features and strengths of the University of Leicester. Few, if any, universities can boast such a high population of postgraduates as we do. Further diversity is demonstrated by the mode of study. Some of you will have earned your degrees by studying on campus, while others of you will have studied by distance learning, completing your studies while also holding down full-time jobs. What unites you, however, is that in each case, the discipline you have shown in completing your courses and the knowledge and skills you've acquired will stand you in good stead for the future. Now, this is also true for those of you who've completed undergraduate degrees. Reading for any degree at a university is very much a case of directed self-tuition. You are taught by leading researchers in their fields. This teaching, however, is to provide you with a roadmap for future learning. Much of what you then do is to follow this map through your own endeavours, and to introduce a new metaphor, put flesh on the skeleton provided by the academic staff. As you then pursue your independent study, write assignments, and take part in tutorial discussion, your subject comes alive. Your contribution to the learning process is a two-way street. You may be surprised, but it is true, that your tutors learn a great deal from you. This is one of the attractions of working and studying at the University of Leicester. While we are a research-intensive university, we believe strongly in the synergy between research and teaching. The tuition provided by leading scholars in their disciplines enables the staff to share their expertise and convey their enthusiasm for their subjects with you. In return, your own thoughts, insights, and questions can prompt us to rethink our own views and, in the process, further our own education. All of you, whether postgraduates or undergraduates, have been studying in quite different fields, ranging from archaeology and history, both ancient and modern, to American studies and psychology. While these are disparate subjects, you have also much in common. You have displayed the discipline to pursue your various degrees successfully and have acquired or developed various skills and values. In the modern world, these skills and values are of major importance, and I'm confident that as you pursue your respective careers, you will find these qualities essential and that they will increasingly be valued by the various employers that you will encounter. You also have one very important other thing in common. You are all now graduates of the University of Leicester, one of the best universities in the country. That this is a leading university has been recognised over the years by its consistently high placings in league tables and its receipt of the award of University of the Year in 2008-09. Being a graduate of this university is a badge of distinction which you can wear with pride for the rest of your lives. Moreover, as Leicester graduates, you'll continue to be ambassadors of this institution, and as such, you represent one of our greatest assets. Now, I appreciate that you will by now be starting to get impatient, as you want to rejoin your friends and families to continue your celebrations. Rest assured, I shall not detain you for much longer. As I'm conscious, addresses such as mine are better if they are brief. So, having written my speech, I decided to take a leaf from the policy agenda of the coalition government and make substantial cuts to it. So I'll bring my remarks to a close. Mention of the coalition government and the impending cuts in public expenditure is a stark reminder that we shall all be living in uncertain times. And this is particularly true for the higher education sector, of which we are a part. These uncertainties will also affect you as you move on to further your careers. It's idle to pretend that in the short term at least, the employment market will not be very challenging. That said, with the qualities you have demonstrated in obtaining your various degrees from a first-rate university, you are supremely well qualified to meet the challenges which you will undoubtedly face and succeed in fulfilling your ambitions. I have every confidence that in a very difficult world, you will fare well and bring credit on yourselves and your university, a university which is proud of you. As an unreconstructed fan of the earliest series of Star Trek, I conclude with the famous words of the incomparable Mr. Spock: "Live long and prosper." And to this I would add, be happy. I offer you my warmest congratulations on your achievements and my very best wishes for the future. Thank you very much.
Well, that brings us to the end of the proceedings for this afternoon. It seems to me that you've definitely demonstrated to us that you've enjoyed the occasion, and I hope that that's certainly a reflection of the previous 3 years, which I hope you've enjoyed with us. Only this morning, I opened a letter from a Leicester graduate of the 1950s who'd been here 2 weeks ago, and he said to me that one characteristic of the university from the 1950s that was still manifest today was that it came across as a happy university. And just as many people have said during the course of the degree congregation, we wish you to take that happiness with you and indeed to have a really great life and a great career. We hope that you will continue to support us as a university, because think of it like this: the better we do, the greater the value of your degrees. So I hope you have a terrific time celebrating today, and indeed no doubt for many weeks to come, with your friends and your family. I hope you develop very good careers, and many of you may well want to come back and do further study at the university, and so we shall look forward to seeing you again. But have a great time, and thank you very much indeed. I now declare this congregation closed.